Doom Buddies. My name's Erin.
And I'm Kate.
And we're childless millennial Disney adults.
We usually bring you the hottest tips and tricks and some advice for the theme parks, but today we're bringing you the hottest takes on Disney films.
Disney films. And this is kind of a hot button issue right now for a lot of content creators because of not only the strike that has been going on, but is now since finished, but, some of the news about some of the Disney movies coming out have caused a little controversy. Mm-hmm. So we're here to talk about that today. So we're going to start, because I feel like the rest of this video podcast is going to be a little bit on the negative side.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be.
It will be. There's no sugarcoating it. Our opinions and probably a lot of your opinions are very much the same on this issue, and they are negative.
Yes. So that being said, we want to start with some positives, which are our favorite Disney movies and why. And then, of course, please add comments. Give us, things that you love about the Disney movies or your favorite, or things that you're not looking forward to seeing. We love to interact with you guys. So, our favorite Disney movies. You can start, Kate.
Well, as far as a classic animated movie, my favorite movie is Peter Pan.
Yes.
Yeah. It's been my favorite since I can really remember. I mean, Snow White has as well, but one that's consistently been my favorite is Peter Pan, and it's just for the fact of not wanting to grow up. That's the main thing, which clearly, look at me, I'm a Disney adult. Obviously, I don't want to grow up. But I loved the story. I loved the music. I loved the animation. I loved the characters.
Yep. And I love just, the classic feel of the movie.
Yes.
You could tell throughout the ages of Disney movies, the music and the voices. And
the whole, intro of Peter Pan, it has, a choir.
Yes.
And they're singing, this is bad. No, they're singing, The Second Star to the Right.
Yes.
They're singing The Second Star to the Right. Yes.
Star to the right.
And and there's the different vocal ranges, and it plays with, the credits beforehand, and it's, beautifully, animated, watercolors and everything.
Yeah.
It's, it has that. My mom always says, you can tell Disney music. It has a sound.
Yep, definitely.
You know that it's a Disney movie by its music and its animation.
Yep, definitely. So what do you think for you, pulls at your heartstrings when you watch that movie? What keeps you coming back to it?
I love the music, and I love the message of it, of never growing up, and as much as in the end, they do have to come back to the real world, and they do, face that they have to grow up, but they still keep that childhood alive in them. There's a sequel, which some people would say is not good, but I really like it. And we do see that Wendy does grow up, and then she does have a daughter of her own and a son, and then they go on the same adventures, and keeping that youthful spirit alive.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's why I like it.
Yes.
To be a kid at heart.
And
in practice.
And that's really the whole message of Disney, going to the Disney parks. It's, as an adult, finding your inner child and being able to experience these things as an adult, but reminding yourself of your childhood. And that's what makes Disney so beautiful, is that you can return to that as an adult and experience it like you would when you were a kid. So, yeah, for sure. So my favorite Disney movie is Beauty and the Beast. There's a video of me when I was 2 years old. My brother and my cousin, they were playing the townspeople, and I was Belle, and I was 2 years old, and I knew all the words to Belle's reprise. or yeah, isn't that what it is? Belle's Reprise, where it's the town basically. There goes the baker
Well,
with
it's just
his.
Belle.
Oh, okay.
The reprise.
The reprise is the other.
One adventure.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I knew all of that. But yeah, so the music obviously is what was my favorite thing about it. But also, and I think this is why it's so important to have characters that are representing a lot of different people and people of different color. Like Belle, like I felt when I looked at her that she was me. Like
You could see yourself.
I could see
in
myself in her, and I think that's so important. Like, and it doesn't always have to just be because they look like me.
Right.
But yeah, I related to her, and I loved just how when she was with the beast, she saw the inside, and that she could change his heart and make him softer, you know? And I just love, oh my gosh.
Oh, and that she's unique as herself, and she, she acknowledges that everybody thinks that she's weird.
Yes.
But like she's just kind of like, whatever.
She's
Like
doing her own
no,
thing.
I don't fit in, but like I'm still me, and that's why he likes her anyway, is because she is different.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I could cry.
We're
just
crying.
thinking
We're
about-
crying already.
So that's my favorite film, and it's always been forever. Even with the other movies that have come out that have been just amazing, like that one will always just be number one in my heart. I don't know. So that's mine. But we do want to talk about obviously some honorable mentions, which is a lot of the Disney Renaissance films.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of my other favorites is Tarzan. That album
Chef's kiss.
is probably one of the best albums I've ever
It's
Phil
so
Collins is
It's so good. Like he went so hard.
He
and
did.
I love him for it.
He
Obviously.
did.
Those songs are so good, and You'll Be in My Heart. Like I'll always cry at that song.
yes.
And then like Trash in the Camp, like a vibe.
It's so good. I don't know. He really embraced the like jungle vibe, and his voice is just so soothing and yeah, just amazing. Like that is one of my favorite movies. Just because of the music, I think. Like everything else was good, but the music to me is what makes it.
It really does.
Yeah. And then you mentioned, but I also agree.
Hercules.
Yeah.
Again, for the music, it's incredible, like how they were like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna take the muses and we're gonna make them like a gospel choir.
Yeah.
And then have them just belting it out.
Oh, it's so good. And you know what? The animation is really good, and it's a little, like, I feel like it veers off a little bit from some of the classic, like, ways that they did animate. Like, you know, Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Little Mermaid, they sort of like the same style.
Yeah.
But Hercules, like the characters have a different style to their animation.
They do look a little different, and they even use like some CGI in it too, like
Yeah.
with the Hydra.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, oh man. And the storytelling, like that is really the main thing that is so good about Disney movies is the storytelling. Like how they have a conflict and they resolve it, and like
you really can't sit there and tell me that a Disney movie, a classic animated movie, is bad. Like they're all good.
They're all good.
Some are better than others, but there's not one that I feel like you could ever sit there and be like, that was bad.
Yeah, no. Honestly, like in just all the ones that we watched growing up and before our time, like all of them are good. Like I can't say I hate any of them. Like you said, just the storytelling, the music, like everything they tie together
Like
so
you're falling
seamlessly.
in love with the characters just through the storytelling. Like, why am I crying over a dog and a fox?
Oh my god.
It's because of their friendship. Like, it's a deep, like it's not just a 2-dimensional story. It's very involved.
It is. Yeah. And then obviously Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Snow White. Snow White is what started
The film
animation
aspect of
industry.
it.
Yeah. So I don't know. The fact that people hate on Snow White is very interesting to me because like that was his first, like
Right. I mean, they hated on it even back in the day. They were like, "Oh, this is gonna be a flop," and
Man.
he said,
just wait, just you wait. Yeah, and man, I don't know. All these movies are just incredibly well done, and the score, and like I think about Princess and the Frog and how Dr. Facilier sung "Friends on the Other Side," like how he gives like symbolism in the song where he says, you know, you want to hop from place to place, but you know, moving around like that takes green.
"Yeah."
And so like he hints to him being a frog without saying I'm going to turn you into a frog.
Yeah.
And it's just like so clever, like they think these things like completely through. And that's one of my favorite songs. Like that's probably like one of my top villain songs.
It's really good.
It's
and
really
the
good.
animation in that too is crazy. The colors.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing. So I feel like when we think about the 100 years that Walt Disney's company and, you know, they've been animating and making these amazing feature films, and it's like all of the things that they've accomplished throughout the years. And you'd think that it would like get better. Like just better and better.
Yeah.
But it seems like nowadays like they're taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
And doing things because they can make the money. You know, like
right.
they do a safe.
Like what's an easy sell?
Right. When it's like you look at these old characters and you look at like these classic beloved characters and you're like, wow, like I just can't wait to see what they do in the future. But it seems like every announcement that we hear about Disney is remakes.
Yes.
And it's disappointing in the fact for that just because it's like these are already good movies.
Yeah. There's no reason that
Yeah.
I could see to keep doing the same thing over and over again when you have 100 years that you've proved that you can do new things, innovative things, telling new stories,
Right.
putting a twist on like a classic story. Like, yeah, Cinderella's a classic story, but you put the Disney touch to it. You added these little minor characters. You made it beloved. Like, you put the little Disney twist on it. So like you have 100 years of doing that. Like I said, every movie is good. You can't sit there and be like, oh well, that sucked. Like even the ones that are kind of out there, like Black Cauldron or something. Like, maybe it's not the greatest thing you've ever seen, but you're not like, that was horrible.
No.
They all stand out for their own reason, and like I feel like they are doing some really cool things, or they try to do some cool things, but then they like get nervous and like back away from it because like the newer movies, like Elemental.
Oh, it was so good.
That's a Disney movie. It's not Disney Pixar. It's just no. It's just a Disney movie.
I think it's just a Disney movie.
And it was it was beautifully animated.
Yep.
And it told such a unique story.
Yeah.
That was emotional, relatable, like definitely more geared towards adults.
Yes.
Like kids could like it because it was visually appealing, but
right.
like we understood the message of it.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't think kids would get it, and they didn't really like do anything with it. Like
No.
You heard about it, it was like this movie's coming out, and then all of a sudden
they didn't advertise very well for it. And the same thing with Strange World. That one was like an adventure story, and that was really well done, visually stunning animation.
Unique. Different.
The characters, you know, you fall in love with the characters. There was big controversy because one of the characters is gay. Like, come on, people.
It's 2023.
Yeah, like, can we get over that? Like, stop. Like, there are people who are gay in this world. Like, just let them be. That's a whole other thing. But again, like you said, I think that Disney wants to put that stuff out there, wants it to make those things available for people to watch and connect to. Like, you know, why can't a kid that's gay connect to a character on a movie that's gay? whatever. So they do it, and then like you said, they shy away from it. They
Yeah.
don't advertise as much, or they don't whatever, but they're actually very good movies, and they're
Right.
like afraid to.
Which I don't understand.
I don't either. So like, and those are both really good movies. So I just, it's so weird. Like, you see their potential, but like, then they're afraid to like do it. It's weird. I don't know.
Disney like is a company, it's a business, and they're inherently kind of, money hungry, and
Yeah.
I get that. Like, they want to make money, and whatever's easiest, like making a Frozen 3. I'm decked out in Frozen gear. I have Frozen tattoos, so I do not hate on Frozen, but I understand that like it's a money thing. Like, oh, we know this will be successful.
We know that this will work. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. But where it comes to the live action, it's
that's really,
it's weird. I like don't understand the thought process. Like, you're spending a lot of money to remake these already great movies.
right. If I want to watch The Little Mermaid, I'm just going to watch The Little Mermaid.
Right. And like, if I'm going to watch The Lion King, I'm not going to watch the live action because it doesn't have Be Prepared. Like, why would you not put probably
my favorite villain song.
but it's probably like not just yours, but like I think it might be the top rated
Everyone
Disney
loves
villain
that
song. And you don't put it in the live I don't know.
And also, it can't be live action if they're CGI animals.
Yeah, so that's silly. That was a huge disappointment
That was
for me.
bad. Like, that, I can sit there and tell you that was bad.
Bad.
Like, I will tell you that day in and day out. Like, there are a lot of these live action that I haven't even seen, and that I kind of like. I don't see the point in watching it.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to watch Aladdin, I'm gonna go watch Aladdin. If I want to watch Beauty and the Beast, well, okay, I did like that one, but again, if I'm looking to watch that, I will just watch that.
Yeah, definitely.
And if like kids nowadays, you don't have to like remarket it towards them. Like, they can just watch I don't get it.
Yeah.
They'll still enjoy it in the animated version, probably more.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and they change a lot of things. Like, I know that they do, like, it's good to have, like, creative liberty and, like, change some things about, I guess, these already great stories. Like, that's what I don't get is, like, why are they changing the songs? Why are they taking out songs? Why are they, like, that doesn't make sense to me. But
if it's not Baroque,
don't fix it. And like for example, with the new Little Mermaid, the poor unfortunate souls, they took out my favorite line, which is the body language. And it's like, I know that we live in a very political climate where you really have to be careful what you say, whatever, and not offend. But you're going to offend people no matter what. Like, if it was in the old movie and people accepted it.
Exactly. It was in the old one and people turned out just fine from it.
Right.
In Tarzan, we watched somebody get hanged. So,
yeah.
And here we are. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm perfect by any means, and I'm not.
Whatever.
But you know what? I'm a good person.
No.
It's not like they corrupted me by saying, "Oh, you have to use your body to get a man." Like,
yeah. No.
Okay, like.
She's a villain.
She's a villain.
Exactly.
Like, it makes sense why she's saying stuff like that.
Exactly, because she's saying that she doesn't need to have her voice. Like, that they just, that all men care about is the body language and not talking. Which
is not totally wrong. I'm sorry, kids. You're going to learn it eventually.
Yeah, I mean, she's preaching.
They took, didn't they change Kiss the Girl?
Yes.
Like, they were like, oh, like, instead of, like, kissing her, like, you have to ask for her consent.
I mean, obviously, consent is good.
Which we know that it's good.
But, like, again, why do you have to change it? Like, who's getting offended by this? And if they are, like, who cares? Who cares if
it's a cute song. It's a cute little thing. And, like, she wants, like, when we all know because we watched the other half of the movie that she wants to kiss him.
Right.
And, like, we all know that's how the spell's gonna get broken. So, like,
Yeah, yeah. It's just interesting. So I understand like taking some things away, but some of the things, like for me, especially the music and changing the music, really frustrates me. And so that's why like I did like Beauty and the Beast, but like they did change up the beginning Belle song, and that's one of my favorite songs.
They did.
And I didn't like that. I don't like that. But however, the new song that they added from the Beast is freaking beautiful and amazing.
That is a good song. And Days in the Sun.
Yes, yes, yes. So they, like, I understand doing that, but at the same time, again, why fix something that isn't broken?
Yeah.
Why change it if the first one was already amazing?
Yeah.
I don't get that. You could be creative and like take it a different way, I guess, but then it's not a remake of the story.
Right.
I don't know.
It's like it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like I love like them doing like an adaptation of a ride, like the Haunted Mansion movie. Like people hated that movie, but I liked it, and
I thought it was really good.
I liked it a lot, and I liked the nods to the ride. Like do that. You could do like the Jungle Cruise. I liked the Jungle Cruise one.
Cruise and like how they did pirates. Like,
yes,
that became a huge thing.
Yes,
and
like
it's its own unique story.
Yes, yes. Like I like those, and you could totally take a bunch of different creative pathways with that. But remaking whatever, I'm a broken record right now, so but
so I mean, I guess there were, like we mentioned, we did like Beauty and the Beast. Well, I liked Beauty and the Beast, the live one.
Yeah, I liked it too.
We both really like Cinderella. That one is really good,
because I also feel like they stayed very true to the original in it. They didn't have, like you said, like all the mice and whatever.
The little like side plot of like, oh, like the mice are always fighting with Lucifer.
Or Lucifer,
and,
yeah.
Like,
I'm thinking
the
Gus
little,
Gus.
you know, little like side things that they did. Like they really focused more on her, which great, amazing.
Yeah.
But it still felt very Disney, and it still felt very true to her character, if not
shining
more light on who she is and like why like you should appreciate her as a character, because she is so kind and just genuinely like positive.
She's one of my favorites because of that movie, I think, because of how much they showed, you know, she always says have courage and be kind, and how like nasty her sisters and her mom were.
Horrible.
And her stepmother, I mean.
Like horrible.
Horrible. And like
they were even like worse
abusive
in the live act, like.
Yeah.
Like
bad. And like for me, I'd be like, I would fucking take a pan and beat them.
I'd be like,
I'm
beat
leaving.
The shit out of them. You guys don't like get. I'm out of here.
I'm out. Yeah, this is my dad's estate, so I'm not leaving. I'm kicking you out somehow or killing you.
Incredible.
But yeah, no. So
and it gave backstory to the prince, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Because in the animated version, like he's there.
Yeah.
He's there. He like
there.
is like, oh, this girl is so beautiful. I can't wait to dance with her, and then she leaves. And then he's a dumb idiot.
He's not like stupid where he's like, I don't even know your name. How do I find you?
Yeah, like you could have just talked.
Yeah, and they do like
in the live version, like they meet out like on the hunt.
Yeah,
and like they talk and
There's a lot of.
When he's like pushing her on the swing in the garden, and I'm like, oh, and then like you get the backstory on the king and how like so. That was good where they changed it, but for the better. Like,
right.
You love it. It's familiar, but new in a good way.
Yes. Yes. And I would say, I mean, I saw Aladdin. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it.
I can't.
Aladdin's one of my favorites, too.
I heard the music from it before, and I've never seen it, but I heard the music, and when Will Smith is like rapping as a genie and he says like, yo princess is hot, where was she at, or something, I'm like, that is gross and I have to go.
Yeah, no, it's
he literally says that.
He does. I remember. I don't remember the exact like what he says, but
he
very
says she's hot.
Yeah. I don't know.
Genie wouldn't say that.
No.
Robin Williams would never.
No. I mean, you can't beat Robin Williams. Which, again, why would you try to make something that is already good.
It's already amazing. It's so good.
And like, what a disservice to him and his performance.
Right, and you set them up for failure, basically. Anytime you do these movies, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yes.
Because there's something to compare it to.
Yes. Yes.
And it's never going to be what it is, so don't do it.
Right.
Or
exactly.
do it for something that makes sense.
Yes.
Like something that is lesser known. Like I said, Black Cauldron. Something like Treasure Planet. Something like Atlantis. That would make sense to do it live action.
Yes.
Because now the technology is like
It's
so
better.
different. Like you could make it really cool. Like Jim riding around on his little like surf thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like
There's
the ships that are like
I think that's
in
on
space.
there. I feel like that's on the list of things to do.
Oh, that
Treasure
they're gonna
Planet.
do?
No,
They're gonna
maybe
do
not.
it?
Okay, so let's talk about the list. So
I see. I already see what it is.
the first one is Snow White, which everyone, I'm sure if you're watching us right now, have heard the controversy with what's her even name? Something Ziegler.
I don't even want to speak her name.
I know, she sucks. Rachel Ziegler.
Horrible.
Rachel, yeah.
Which they pushed it. They pushed the release date back like another year.
Because of the controversy.
Good.
So, but if you haven't heard about it, basically the actress who was chosen to play Snow White had been in multiple interviews about being in the show the movie, and was
bad-mouthing.
Yeah.
The original film.
Yeah. Saying like, oh, like we don't live in the 1930s, like that's
like my version is gonna be well.
she doesn't need a prince.
She doesn't. Oh, and then like was saying something like, oh, we filmed these scenes with the prince, but we might not even use them or something. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna get cut.
Just like not professional at all.
And then they like cast the dwarves as like just seven
Regular
regular men.
people.
But then they came out with that still that was like they changed them all to like
CG.
CGI dwarves, and they look terrible.
They look terrible.
You should insert picture here.
Yeah, picture there. Yeah, no. So
Ugh.
I can tell you for one, guys, that we are not going to
I will
see
not
that
see
movie.
that. I refuse.
Especially, I mean, for Kate, that's their favorite princess. So not only are you bad mouthing the princess in the movie, but like
It's horrible.
it's just horrible.
And that's Walt, literally, again.
That's Walt's baby.
That's his baby. That was the first movie. You know, we wouldn't be where we are today without that movie. So,
Yeah.
how dare you?
No, for real though. Like that's like how stuck up do you have to be given such an opportunity and then
Such an
badmouth
honor,
it?
like,
Yeah,
That's
like
insane.
I don't know. I can't even imagine doing that. I can't. And I'm sorry, but like I understand that like we know that romance, that Disney romance is not real.
Fantasy.
It's fantasy. But
So
I-
what?
But the hope and I mean it's not impossible to find real love, but you know, in that type of fantastical way, it's definitely not, you know, realistic.
It's not a story.
But what is wrong with hoping and dreaming and longing for that? Like
Right.
I am all about women
She's
power and women being individuals and not needing a man to
She's 14 years old.
Right.
She's living with her stepmother, an evil queen who hates her
Yeah.
just because
Wants her
she's
dead.
prettier than she is, and you know, makes her just clean and wear rags all day. So like obviously I would be living in my own little dream world. Like
Yeah.
if I was a 14-year-old scullery maid, like I'd be sitting there all day. I already sit there all day and think of fantasy scenarios now.
Right?
So, like,
Me too.
if you were like a 14-year-old girl, like obviously you're sitting there dreaming of, you know, you got whatever rock star poster on your bedroom. Like You did it too, Rachel, whatever your name is. You did it too, and we know it.
And also, too, like, again, like, don't cheapen the character by saying that she's not a strong female character because she has a prince and she waits on 7 men.
There's nothing to do with it.
It has nothing to do with it. And, like, then you didn't watch the movie because you see a girl who is pure of heart and so innocent and caring and loving and showing the dwarves how to clean and to make, like,
she's taking care
make
of
their house a home.
She's like, oh, like, you let me stay here, so I'm gonna clean up and I'm gonna cook you dinner because you worked all day. Like, that's nice. That's acts of service.
Yeah, it's a love
language.
language.
Of love.
Yeah, and I feel like people are making that seem like it's less womanly or not feminine.
It's not empowering.
It's not empowering, thank you. But, like, Disney has movies like that, like Frozen, where it's the sister's love that thaws the frozen heart. Mm-hmm. It's Elsa is a strong female character who doesn't have a love interest. Moana is a strong Merida. Like, we have that.
We do.
And we have the other ones.
You can have both.
You can have both. You don't have to remake an old movie and make it a female empowering movie. I'm already empowered seeing a young, beautiful princess, like, lost in the woods and helping these men and
she literally was just out picking flowers and some dude was about to cut her heart out of her chest and chased her through the woods and said, you better run out of here or you're gonna die. I would like to see how you would handle that.
Yeah. For real. And she handles it all with such grace.
Yeah, she's literally crying in a field and all the little animals come over to her.
It's so...
And then she apologizes to them for making such a fuss. She's like, I really shouldn't have done... I'm sorry, like...
I love Snow White.
Like, what do you... It's okay, you can cry.
Yeah! So it's just... I think it's just silly. Like, I know, again, we live in a time where, like, everything is just a hot button issue. Like, no matter what. Like,
you can't please everyone. You never will be able to.
But again, like, we do have strong female characters that don't have a prince. Like, it doesn't all have to be the same.
And you can be just as strong if you have a man.
Have them, yeah. So it's just interesting. Like, the messages that they're sending is very mixed.
Yeah.
And I feel like in her interviews, she really just does not want to stay true to the original character.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to spend the money.
There have been so many other Snow White movies that they've made anyway, like Snow White and the Huntsman. Or
they have.
Like Kristen Stewart and, where they changed it. Like, then go watch that. If you want to see a Snow White that's, like, whatever, more badass or whatever, you can watch Once Upon a Time.
For real.
Because she's both really sweet and cute and adorable and wholesome,
a warrior.
and also is a ranger.
Yeah.
With her bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And she sword fights with the prince. Like, come on.
But even I've seen TikToks too of Rachel Ziegler's interviews versus Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
And she handles it much better. And, like,
she acknowledges that it's a different time and that they're telling a different story, but she also has respect for the source material.
Yes.
Like, she's just not, like, shitting all over it.
Right.
She's like, yes, things were different then and we're telling it in a more modern way, but I still like Snow White for being kind and compassionate and...
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, come on, Disney. Like, we can have multiple
really
stories. Like, yeah, I don't know. That yeah.
It's really bad.
Also on this list is Mufasa, the Lion King.
What? For a live action movie?
Yep.
Which, again, we'll correct that, is not live action because it will be CGI.
Yeah,
what is that about?
It says Mufasa was actually an orphaned cub who had to navigate the world alone by himself. In telling this story, we get to experience the real journey of how Mufasa found his place in the circle of life.
But he was orphan? How isn't Scar his brother?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's not his real brother. I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, at least this is not a remake.
It's its own story.
It's its own story.
So it gets a
But again, it's not
I don't-
animated.
Feel the need to see that. I
Yeah.
don't need to know Mufasa's backstory to enjoy him as a character in The Lion King.
No. In fact, like, what we know of him is powerful enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably not necessary. The next one,
And would they even have James Earl Jones do his voice? Is he still alive?
he is still alive.
Like, they probably won't
But
even
he
use
might,
him.
I think he's retired because he won't even voice Darth Vader anymore.
So then what's the point?
I don't know. I mean, if it's not his voice, who is it gonna be?
Or, like...
I don't know. Oh, but I guess it's young Mufasa.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. This third one, Moana.
Why?
This just, like, maybe it didn't just come out, but, like,
It's a newer
it's
movie.
a newer movie, and you're already talking about doing a live action with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
What can I say except no thank you? I'd rather not.
I mean, we like him. Obviously, he's Maui, but, like,
It's great.
we don't need a live action for this. We don't. Are you gonna make it exactly the same? Like, what is going on? I don't know.
I can only laugh at that one because I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. The next one is Lilo and Stitch.
Okay, I think that could be fine because that I feel like is an underappreciated movie.
It is. And they could probably add a lot more to Lilo and what's her sister's
Nani.
name? Nani's like backstory, because you know that they're like they don't have parents, and Nani is just raising Lilo. So would be interesting. I'm interested to see. I mean, obviously the CG might be cool of Stitch, but I would love to see like a puppet Stitch.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That would be cool. I am for. I mean, we love the Muppets here, so I mean, mostly. I mean, Kate is super fan, but like,
They wouldn't though because CGI is easier and cheaper.
Yeah, which is lame. But like, you think of Star Wars and like how in the newer films too, they used Jim Henson to have both like puppets and they use CGI. I think a mix of both is
It's
okay.
cool.
Yeah.
And then you could like how they would do Pleakley.
Yeah.
And like Jumba and
Yes!
fucking what's his name?
Yeah,
Gantu.
Gantu.
And then the alien like lady,
Yeah, the like.
it'd be cool to
Is
see
she the
if,
president or something?
Yeah, she's like the ruler
Yeah.
of whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Galactic Alliance or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like they could do a lot.
Like if
with
they
that
did
movie.
practical effects of her or something, like that would be so
I'm
cool.
telling you, they could. But
I'd be into it.
we'll see.
I would love to see Lilo beat Myrtle's ass.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Definitely. The next one is Hercules.
Okay, all right. Again,
Yeah, but
it's
it's
great the way
it's
it
so
is.
good, like by itself.
It's great the way it is. I would love to see Aubrey Plaza as Meg though.
Do you think
Just
they would do
saying.
that? Is that what?
I don't know. That was like the fan cast.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
people were like, "Oh, it would be great if they did Chris Pratt and Aubrey as." But that
No,
was that.
Chris
No.
Pratt.
But that was like back in
Yeah,
back in the day when
Parks and Rec days. Yeah.
It could be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, it's not necessary.
I feel like if I saw a trailer for it, I'd be able to tell you right then and there if it was going to be good or not. Like,
Yeah. The next one is Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh. I don't think they're going to
know.
make that.
I know they made it into a theater show.
They did.
So I wonder if they would add in the music from the theater, which I mean,
But I feel like
beautiful music, obviously.
I feel like they try to pretend that they never made that movie. Because nowadays, like, the world would explode if they released a children's movie like that. You know, like...
But again, excellent villain song.
Woo!
in my opinion, there is nothing more disgusting and
Than the
awful
church.
than than a fucking priest who, is being disgusting over a woman, and also being disgusting towards another human being who is, he's deformed. So I'm sorry, but that's a great villain. That's a great villain. And that movie is amazing.
He's horrible. Yeah,
He is. Like, that's what, when you think of a villain, can you think of, I mean, that's a real life villain right
that's
there.
real.
That's
I think
real.
It's too real. He's just like a Republican.
Ooh, and ooh.
But that's what I'm saying is why I don't think they would make a live action, because it would be too it's too touchy.
It's a hot button issue.
We got religion involved. There's people with, like you said, deformities. We can't say
poor people.
We can't say the the terms that they use in there are not.
Yeah.
Can't say those things anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But an excellent movie nonetheless.
Again, I guess you could just watch that.
Yeah, just watch the original.
Or watch the Universal Monsters version.
Hell yeah.
Scary.
Okay, next one is Robin Hood.
What? How? If you could Google right now how many Robin Hood adaptations there have been.
There's like a million.
There's so many.
My favorite is We're Men, Manly Men, We're Men in Tights.
What else do you need? Like.
Yeah. No, I also, if
are they gonna do it with a fox?
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to do it as the fox and the bear and the lion and
like the snake? Like, are they gonna do that?
I don't know. I think that's a terrible idea. Again,
awful.
Just stop. Just stop, Disney. Stop.
Oodle lolly.
Oh my god.
Golly, what a day.
They want to do an Aladdin sequel. I liked the Return of Jafar.
Return of Jafar? Or the one with his dad.
Oh, I love that one. That's when they
Dilf alert.
That's when they finally get married.
Oh yeah.
We're finally getting married.
I like that.
I like that one too, but this doesn't say that it's Return of Jafar. This might be a whole other thing.
A whole new movie.
Oh man, is it gonna be another Lin-Manuel?
Stop.
Oh no! It says with producers Dan Lin. Okay.
Oh, you scared me.
I'm like, oh no.
I've had enough.
That's yeah. So maybe they'll do something different for Aladdin 2, but
we don't need it.
We don't need it. Come on, make something new. An Aladdin spinoff featuring Prince Anders is in the development for Disney Plus.
Who? Who's that?
I don't know. I don't remember. We're passing that. The next one is The Sword in the Stone.
Oh, okay. See, like,
that could be.
I'm kind of interested in that era of movies being retold because, like we said, they're, underrated.
Yes.
They don't get as much love.
I'm more for maybe remaking the older ones, like you said, the ones that could not use a retelling, but like it would be cool to have it
love so that people could see it and then they could watch the old one and be like, oh.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to have like more of Madame Mim in there or something, because she's cool.
She is cool. And Merlin's crazy ass.
Yes, I love Merlin.
Vegas.
So that could be interesting. Bambi.
What?
That's a big why.
What?
I don't know.
Are they just gonna put up like a force cam?
I don't know, but like
a trail cam and then just
yeah.
of a hunter shooting a deer.
I mean, that'd be better than probably what they would do. Like
CG.
It's just, again, that movie. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's just not much to really do with that one. I don't know. I don't see the reason to do that. Peter Pan's Fairy Companion, Tinkerbell, so Tinkerbell movie.
There's 1,000 Tinkerbell movies.
There is.
It's her whole thing. It's the
The Friends.
Pixie Hollow series. Watch that. They're good.
I don't like a lot of these just don't make sense. To remake Roald Dahl's James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
No.
But
I like that
good.
one.
That's good the way it is because it's
Because
stop
it's
motion.
Yeah, it's stop motion. What would you do? No.
Just have a real kid in it and then have CGI
I
bugs.
literally just watched this not long ago, and I'm like, this movie is
It's
gold.
good.
It's so good. They can't remake
It's iconic
that.
for the reason that it's
It's weird like
yeah.
that. Okay, I think we reached the end, but I also saw Black Cauldron somewhere. Maybe it was a different list, but Black Cauldron
Which I think
would
that
be
would
cool.
be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that would make sense because it's human characters for the most part.
Yes. So I think overall, I think that Disney, I feel like Disney should listen to the fans and realize that we want more of the quality storytelling, animation, and music. Like, we
They
really
did it for 100 years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you haven't already watched that short that they did for the 100-year.
Oh my god.
And like all the characters that were in it were like the beloved characters.
They're original Disney characters.
Yes. They didn't have like the live action at all. Like it's all the animated classics. And it was so heartfelt and beautiful, and all you could hope for in the next 100 years that Disney's going to be around is hoping that they would develop the same type of beloved characters.
Yeah.
And
they every now and then.
Every now and
get
then.
something like you get Encanto, you get Wish is coming out. And
Yeah.
it looks promising.
it does. But we need more of it. Like, again, remaking movies is not the way. Like, and I'm sure any Disney fan would say the same, because these movies are beloved for a reason, and like some of them, like you said, a retelling would be cool just for the fact that they aren't, as well known, like The Sword in the Stone or Black Cauldron. Like those would be cool to have remade.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones, it's not necessary, and they should put more of their time and effort in making new characters and new stories, and not being afraid of the public. Like, the public's going to say what they're going to say, you know? And they always will, Like, I remember posting about how much I loved Turning Red, and people were all up in my comments being like, oh,
it's inappropriate
for children. I was like, why? Because they mentioned pads in a scene.
Menstruation,
and then because she's
cute.
She was drawing pictures of a boy. Like, when I was a kid, like, I did all those things.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then people would be like, well, it's just not appropriate, blah, blah, blah. And I just remember saying to them, like, okay, but The Little Mermaid is about a girl who wants to be with a guy, and she's 16, and she rebels against her father. Like,
and you don't cause a ruckus over that.
And then some people were like, well, we didn't like that movie either. Okay, well, fuck you. Okay.
Right, like, then there's just no winning
then
with you.
there's no winning with you. Exactly. So it's like, Disney's got to put out there what they know is good storytelling, and not shying away from real life. Yeah.
What people can relate to and what they want. Like, you want that fantasy world where you can escape, but you also want that reality of, like, I see myself in this story.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's where we are. So no matter what you do, you're going to offend people. And that's why we're, like, as the Doom Buddies, we do not, we don't want to offend people, obviously, but we also know that we might not be everyone's cup of tea. Like, it is what it is. But we're going to have our opinions, and we're going to be true to ourselves. And I feel like
we're not hurting anybody.
No. absolutely not. So, yeah. So I just feel like as a whole, and I guess in conclusion, like, we love Disney. We love Disney animation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always excited to see what they're gonna do, and
Right.
when you hear these announcements of like, oh, this is getting remade, or this is, it's like, oh,
Wah, wah.
like,
yeah.
when I see an advertisement for like a new thing, like Inside Out 2 is coming out, and like, yes, that's a sequel. Yes, they're banking on how successful it was, but it was successful for a reason, because it's a good movie, it's a good story. So like, I'm excited for it because it's still new. Like,
yeah. And Disney is notoriously known for pulling at your heartstrings, like, Up.
yeah.
And like everyone knows the first like scene in Up, you know, the montage
It just destroys you.
Yeah. They know
It's real. It's
yes.
so real. It's, you have these real emotions and scenarios being told in like cartoon characters, and like no one else can do that.
Right. And that's what they, to me, it's worth every penny that they put in when they create a story like that. That gets people to think outside of their own life, or not even, or even think about things in their own life in a different way. Like, even with, like, I think about Coco, and when Miguel is singing to his grandma and gets her to remember her father.
God.
Like,
Woo!
if that doesn't pull at your, like, I sob every time I watch that movie, because it pulls out real emotion and real life scenarios where people have an elderly parent or grandparent that has lost their memory, and like pulling out those little pieces of their memory at times is a very emotional thing. And like, that's people, there's so much shit that happens in the world, like, it's so important to be able to hold on to those kind of beautiful moments and joy, and all, because then it's so easy to get bogged down by the rest of what's going on around us.
Yeah.
I mean, this is part of why we do what we do right now, is because, I mean, the whole world is literally falling apart around us, basically. And, you know, it's not like we're in our own bubble, but we're in a space where it's like, this is something that does give us joy, and gives
even
us,
just for an hour or
yeah,
two.
an hour or two. Like, and that's what Disney can do. And if they can harness that and keep that in line for 100 years to come, then I feel like they'd be in a good spot. But if they start cutting corners and being afraid of what other people will say,
Yeah.
and leaning
Trying
a little
to be,
bit
like,
less
safe
yeah,
with what they do, or
then I don't think it's going to be successful for them. Which, you know, let's hope that doesn't happen.
right.
But yeah.
No, the moral of the story is no more remakes.
Yeah. New things,
New
new
things.
stories. We want to cry. Give us a character that we can strive to be like. You know, somebody that is brave and strong in their own way.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, that's what we love about it anyway. Well, thank you guys for listening to us banter. And of course, there'll be many more episodes to come. Please like and share and follow and subscribe.
Comment all the things. Do
Yep.
you agree with our opinions? What are your opinions? It's okay if they're wrong.
Either way, we love you guys. Thank you for the time that you spend with us, and have a magical day.